Hey, welcome back to another tutorial. It is Sarah Michaels here. This is a Style It Yourself DIY Wix website design tutorial. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your bookings and your calendar from the dashboard on your Wix website. Now, I do recommend doing the actual setup here on your through your like either a laptop, an iMac, a desktop, whatever. I think that's the easiest. But after this is done, make sure that you have installed the Wix app because you'll be able to see your bookings and manage your bookings and your hours all through the Wix app right on your phone. So you can download the Wix app if you followed the other tutorial, or go to the App Store or Google Play Store, download Wix, and then just log in with whatever email address is linked or associated with your website account. Okay, so quick overview here. We are accessing the dashboard right now. So in order to get to the dashboard, I'm going to show you one more time. You go to Settings, scroll all the way down, click on My Dashboard. As always, this is bringing you up to your main dashboard page. If you ever need to get back to the main dashboard page, just click on Dashboard in the upper left-hand corner. So in the main menu here for the dashboard, if you scroll down a little, no, don't even have to scroll, just kidding. If you see here, it says Booking Services. That's the first thing that I want you to click on. So bookings will really be for any of those of you who are coaches, consultants, if you offer any kind of consultation, one-on-one services, anything like that, this is where you will be able to add your booking services. And as you can see, at the time of recording, I am smack dab in the middle of coronavirus craziness. So instead of freaking out, I'm recording all my course content. Okay, so as you can see here, you're able to create a coupon, manage your staff, update the booking settings, and accept payments, which if you are following through, you should have already uploaded to accept payments. So here are the booking services tab. If you ever need to add a new service in there, here's where you would do it. It's very, very simple to do. You can choose one-on-one or multiple participant. And then you would just upload a photo, the price, and any information. Save it. Okay, so it's visible on the site. So this is where you would go in and add the title, the image, subtitle, how long it is, what staff members you want people to be able to book with. Is it a custom price? Is there no fee? What's the price amount? Do they split the payments? Is it due? However that is, where is it located? And we'll do like virtual. Okay, so you can update all of that. Alternatively, if you ever have like a certain number of sessions that are included with a paid plan or a membership, which we'll get into later, the paid plans are right here. This is really great if you have like a coaching or consulting package. If you have a certain number of them that are included, you can always click on add, and then it will say like, how many sessions do I get included with this? And they'll be able to book, which is pretty cool. Okay, so then in the advanced setting, you can choose booking preferences. So do you want to automatically accept all bookings? Do you want to have to manually approve or decline them? Do you want to allow clients to book online? My personal preference and my thought process with this is make it as simple as possible for clients to get into your door. Make it as simple as possible. So even if that means you allow them to book and then you have to contact them to be able to set things up, that's kind of how a traditional business would go if you're a coach or a consultant. So for example, for me, when I first was able to book an appointment with my holistic chiropractor, I was able to go online. I was able to request an appointment, and then they called me. So their secretary called me within, I don't know, it was within a couple of hours. She called me, kind of got a feel for what I was looking for. And then they sent me my forms and they sent me my invoice so that I could pay it all right there. But So for me, if it's like too complicated, I just won't book. So, anyways, so that's my thoughts on that. Take it for, take it. But again, you do you, totally up to you. That's in your court there. Okay, so then the checkout preferences, you can decide whether you want a deposit, whether you want the entire amount online. That is what you'll want to make sure that you have. So we're going to cancel this because we're not actually going to save this service. So we're going to say leave without saving. Okay, so now you know where the general booking services are located on the dashboard. Okay, now we're actually going to go in and update your calendar and your staff. This is really cool. Okay, and I just have to tell you this. So prior to switching over to Wix and Wix Ascend, I had a calendar. I had tried several calendar services from different websites. It was a pain in the butt. It was a pain in the butt because my contact, my customer management software was on one platform. My calendar platform was on another. So in order to trigger my customer management workflows, I had to have this other software that was $100 a month that linked my calendar to my customer management. It was insane. So I was spending well over $350 a month just trying to duct tape all that together. And here it's like the heavens have opened up and it's like, oh, you have access to all of this through Wix Ascend and the booking calendar. So I'm just saying, if this is the first platform you've ever used, I hope you're like super grateful. But if you're like me and you've come from a background of multiple services, this is going to be so revolutionary for you. And you're going to be like running around wanting to tell people like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how simple this is. I get it. If you're inside of Style It Yourself or What the Tech, you can share with us because we feel your woes and we understand how much of a pain this probably was on different platforms. Okay. I babbled enough. So here is where you can manage your staff. Okay, so again, this is underneath of the booking calendar. The first thing that I would do is go in and add the staff members in. So whoever is going to be working, that's really weird. Why does this keep doubling? Whoever is working on your team, you will want to make sure that you've updated them. If you are following in order of tasks, I do recommend if you're having people or if you or your team members are going to be creating a new email that's linked to your domain. So for example, if I were going to do Sarah at sarahmichaels.com, I would want to make sure that I went in first and got my mailbox before setting up my calendar. Okay, so if you're setting up, emails for each one of your team members, go do that first, follow that tutorial first before doing this part. So if you need to add a new staff member, you just click on that plus button. I think it's unlimited. You can update the roles and permissions here. We're going to click on that and just check that out and see. Okay. No, 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 no. That's not what I wanted. I don't know why this popped up under the booking calendar. So let's go back. Let's go booking calendar. I thought there were different roles on the calendar. So if you had like a calendar owner or something like that. Okay, so you want to make sure that your time zone is correct. So in order to update your time zone, you can do that here. You can click on change and you'll be able to update your time zone. It's online. It's in the general info settings for your website. So this is where you would update your time zone right here. We're going to go back to the booking calendar page. Okay, so now what you can do is you can set work hours. Okay, set work hours. Here is where you will set your default hours for your business. So if you know for sure that you're never taking clients on a Tuesday, you can just unselect Tuesday. So for example, for me, I never book consultations on a Wednesday, I think, or a Friday, one of those days. I prefer to do my consultations on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's just how I have that set up. So you want to make sure that you go in and set your default work hours. And then each one of your staff members can customize their own personal availability. It's really neat that you're able to do this, and then it will integrate and manage all of that right there on your calendar, which is super cool. So we'll go back to the booking settings. Okay, so here is where you're able to update and add a booking policy. So the booking policy is where it says like limit early bookings. Okay, so this is inside of the booking rules. So it says set your booking cancellation and waitlist policies here. Okay, so limit early bookings. How far in advance can clients start booking? So what this means is, do you want a person to be able to book the same day? So for example, if it's 10 o'clock on a Tuesday, do you want someone to be able to book at 10:30 with zero notice? In my book, that's a hell no. Like I need at least 24 hours in advance, sometimes more, depending on what I'm doing, if I need to prepare for anything. So this is where you can say like, okay, I want them to be able to book 0 days, or they can book 1 day in advance, 2 days in advance, whatever. So you can choose the limit on that, especially if there's anything that needs to happen in between them booking and you having your first appointment. So like if they have to fill out any kind of new patient forms or new client forms, or if you have to correspond with them, if they have to send you a payment before the booking, I would do 48 to 72 hours minimum. I think that's a pretty good range, like 3 days in advance. If like things need to happen in between, I think that's pretty standard. Limit late bookings. When is the earliest, or when is the latest that clients can book a session? I think I had this backwards, y'all. I think I had it backwards. So how far in advance can clients start booking? I think I allow people to start booking like 60 days in advance. I'm pretty sure I do. So you can decide how far in advance you want someone to be able to book. If you only want to set up your calendar every month, then you would only do a 30-day booking, or maybe a 2-week in advance booking. And then I apologize, I had it backwards. So everything I just said about limiting early bookings, I limit late bookings. Okay, so this means this is where I put my 3-day minimum on there. So that means the latest that they can book is 3 days prior to our appointment. That ensures that I'm not on vacation. I don't have anything else going on. It also makes sure that I'm able to get the communication and the payment from them prior to starting our appointment. So again, I apologize for that misstep there. So that is where you would do a limitation. Cancel and reschedule. How close to the start time can clients cancel or reschedule? I will typically say like 1 day in advance. You could do 2 days, 3 days. That's totally up to you. And then you can add your cancellation policy. To cancel or reschedule, please contact us at least 24 hours in advance. Okay. And then it says, what time zone should your calendar be shown in? Recommended. Okay. I do virtual services. So if your services are virtual, you will want to select the client's time zone. Okay. Because these are for services offered remotely. If you are hosting services at your physical location, then you would select your business's time zone. And then it says, let clients choose between your time zone or theirs. Okay. Booking time slots, offer start times for your one-on-one sessions. So you can choose when you want to offer sessions. Do you want to offer them like every 30 minutes? So for example, they could book a 9, a 9:30, a 10, a 10:30. They could start at odd hours, like on the quarter if you really want to. I just do every 30 minutes. And then I don't have a wait list yet. If you have classes and you want people to be on a wait list, you could go ahead and select the wait list. an open spot, a waitlist capacity, that whole shebang is down there. Okay, so once you have saved this, it looks like the changes were saved. I'm going to scroll up then and go back to the bookings settings. So we've updated the booking policies. Then you can choose to customize your booking form. This is the form that people will fill out prior to booking an appointment with you. So if you have a generic intake form or a client form, this is where you could put that information. You can choose any of these, like, do you want them to have to book it, pay in person, pay online, or request to book? Up to you. If you want to add any fields beyond, so you can edit the title. Okay, once you do that, you'll click the check button. So anytime you hover over one of these selections, there will be a pencil that pops up. You can add a custom field in there, and it'll say field type. Is it a checkbox, a short answer, a paragraph? Going to exit out of that. And then as soon as you have this form done, you can go ahead and click on Save the Form. So again, that is underneath of the bookings settings. So you want to make sure that you update your hours, add your booking policy, customize your booking form, and then make sure that you followed through, that you've upgraded and added to an Ascend plan, because once you've done that, you're going to be able to customize different emails. So you can customize the confirmation email. You can send them an email reminder 24 hours prior to the session starting. If you have to cancel, you can customize your cancellation email. And then here, so if I open this up, this is where I'm able to trigger more automations in relation to the bookings. Really, really cool thing here. So if you scroll down here, let's see, where's the bookings automations? Did I miss it? Let's see here. Let's go in and let's just click on new automation. So when I am adding automations, you can see here, I can choose a trigger. Let's just click on the bookings. You can go ahead and say, you can trigger an automation for a client who hasn't attended a session. For a client who attends their first session, you can say, thanks so much for coming. So these are some of the different automations that you can choose to enact. So again, those are just optional if you want to go a little bit extra with that, and really keep the relationships nurtured after that. So again, that's inside of booking settings, and it's underneath of the Send Auto Emails tab. So I would go in and update the confirmation email, update the email reminder, and update your cancellation email. Okay. All right. And then let's see here, when we go to set the hours, these are the default hours. Okay. So then we're going to go here. Let's go back to the main menu and go to booking calendar. So I believe, was that just under customer management? Where was that? Marketing tools? No, where was that? I just saw it. Was it under settings? It was. Okay. So here is how I got to that one screen with the 4 things on there. So on the main page here, so you can see if we go back to the main page, you can see here, this is the booking calendar. So the booking calendar is where you're able to update your hours and add in your staff hours. You can also add in a blocked chunk of time, which I'm going to show you how to do here. Okay, so if you want to add a session, so for example, if you have to add a manual session in, you could do that. You can add a one-on-one session, or you can add in a blocked chunk of time. Okay, so you can add it to your own calendar. Yeah, so that's how you would do it. So when you go in here, you would click on add a session, blocked time. So when you're looking at your personal calendars, either for the month or for the week. If you're doing weekly bookings, I recommend going in there, maybe setting a notification for yourself every Friday and just reminding yourself, hey, I have to update my hours or my schedule for next week. So when you need to do that, you'll select the booking calendar, the calendar, and then you'll click on add a session in the upper right hand time. You can you can manually enter a session, or you can go in and choose your name from the list, and you'll be able to say like, okay, on the 30th, I am busy from this time to this time. Okay. And then it says blocked time applies to one-on-one sessions only. Okay. So then you'd be able to block it off, and then you would be good to go. Okay. Another thing that you can do is you can click on the actual calendar. So for example, if I clicked on this and I went like that, I could say blocked time. I'd be able to choose who it was for, and then I would just make a note like unavailable. Okay, and then I click on block, and it would allow me to block that off. So this is really handy if you're doing your own calendar, or if you have a receptionist or someone a virtual assistant who's blocking your time for you. That is how they would do that. Okay, now the very last thing was going down to the settings and scrolling down to the booking settings button. It's underneath of the advanced settings category. So click on booking settings. And when we click on that, I believe it's going to take us. It is. So this is where those 4 options are at. So your work hours, your booking policy, your booking form, and the emails and reminders. Okay. So if you're like, hey, how do I get to that section? That's where you get to that from. Okay. So again, I went to it's on the main page. I went down to settings, and then I scrolled down and clicked on booking settings. This is where the advanced booking settings are going to be located. Okay. Now, one final thing, if you want to be able to update the calendar for individual staff members and set your own hours, you would just click on edit underneath of the staff option. So this is where you can put your profile photo in, you can put your email in, your phone number, and you can go ahead and click on set staff member hours. This is where you can set your own personal hours. It will integrate automatically to the main calendar, so you don't have to worry about that. It syncs. If you are using a Google Calendar, one thing that I recommend doing is signing into your Google Calendar. So if you use that on your phone with whatever email address that you're listing right here, because once you do that, what you're going to want to do is anytime you have a personal appointment or something coming up, or you're unavailable, when you click on Sync Google Calendar, this is where you're going to want to do this, because it's then going to give you an automatic notification on your phone like da-da-ding, this person just booked a consultation with you, and it'll tell you what it is. It goes automatically to your phone. So I have Google Calendar right here on my device. So as soon as someone books from Wix, not only do I get a notification from the Wix app, but it also adds them automatically to my Google Calendar, and it will remind me too. So it's like, hey, 1 hour before my consultation, it's like, look at that. It also eliminates double bookings. So Google Calendar will block off time in your Wix bookings calendar so you don't get overbooked. Your personal events will remain and appear as busy, and this will keep both Wix bookings and your Google Calendar up to date. So it's pretty cool. So when you enter your email address again, if you're going to be creating a email that's linked to the domain, so for example, your name at blah blah blah.com, go and do that first. Sign into your new email address on your phone, and then so you'll want to make sure that you have that new email address signed into your calendar. Come in here, enter the new email, click on send sync request. You'll get a notification on your phone, say yes, and then boom, your personal calendar will now be updated and synced with the Google Calendar. So for example, I'm just going to go ahead and add my client's images here. Let's see if it'll do that. So, and I want to show you what your images should look like because they did a really, really good job. They just had a camera. They went out into some really good lighting and they took their own photos. This is awesome. I want to I want to stress that. Make sure that your photos are well lit. It's a picture of your face. It's very easily visible. So there you have it. Okay, so then this will save. So this is for Dr. Lauren. So that's going to save in there. And that way, when people are booking with you, it'll see your little mugshot right there. So that's it. That is how you, a really main overview of the Wix calendar and booking. When you're booking on your Wix, so when you're on here, you'll click on Wix. You'll go to the dashboard. Okay, so you'll click on dashboard. This is really challenging. Dashboard. Okay. And then it'll tell you on this main thing right here, it'll tell you your booking activity. So it's going to sync to your calendar. It's also going to show you the bookings that are here. You can manage your bookings from here. You can also manage your calendar right from here. So it's really, really nice. So when you click on manage up at the top, once you've downloaded the Wix app, manage. Okay, it'll tell, what's that? It'll tell you, let's see here. So then you can see here, it says bookings. So you can update your bookings here. So this is what the bookings looks like on your phone. So it's pretty similar to the calendar that you're seeing on the desktop right now. When you click on settings, this is where you'll go in and set the availability for yourself. And you can do that weekly right from your phone. Okay, so if you ever need to do that, you can do that weekly. Just set a reminder for yourself. I would recommend going in right now, setting a reminder in your Google Calendar, like for every week on Friday. Hey, update my calendar, or set one monthly. Update my Google or my bookings calendar, so that way you never get double booked or anything like that. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a really good comprehensive understanding now of the booking calendar. I know it might seem like a lot. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and ask. Another resource is our live weekly Q&A sessions. If you're a member of Style It Yourself or What the Tech, you get access to that. So if you're like, how did you get to that? Or I can't figure out my calendar, or just you're like ready to pull your hair out and be like, help. Those are what those sessions are for. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a really good understanding of this. I hope this was helpful. If it was, and you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and make sure that you give it a thumbs up. This helps other people find the content, helps them grow their business, and I really appreciate it. And yeah, be sure to subscribe. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.